and people will do anything to get it.
Deep in the heart of the ancient forests of the Pacific Northwest, descendants of the trappers and traders who blazed the Oregon Trail hunt every year for one of the most expensive foods in the world, black truffles.
We call truffles black diamonds. They're small, they're black. There's millions in these mountains.
These aren't chocolate truffles. They're mushrooms served in the world's top restaurants. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, but the peak of the season only lasts 10 weeks.
Yeah, baby, come to Papa, yo!
But this year, Falls City is experiencing one of the worst droughts in history.
This soil's too damn dry.
Less rain means less truffles up for grabs.
Damn it.
With hundreds of thousands of dollars at stake, more men are on the hunt, using dogs and even pigs to make their fortunes.
Stay back. We don't know if they got a weapon.
People will lie, cheat, and steal to get ahead.
People dying in the woods. Out there at PD Cemetery, somebody got killed.
Money makes people do wild and crazy things.
And for the first time ever, a secret world of foragers is unearthed as the truffle men of Oregon are put to the ultimate test.
Gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
This tree looks good. About 30 years old.
In a forgotten expanse of Oregon forest, 4 miles from the nearest road, a lone forager is preparing for his first hunt of the season.
Spent all my childhood playing in these trees, bear hunting, raccoon hunting in the mountains at night.
Richie Maxfield is a solo hunter who has learned to track truffles using only his senses.
I can smell them. They have an earthy, sweet, kind of like an overripe pear or apple. They're definitely growing.
Most mushrooms grow above ground, but truffles are a fungus that grow underground around tree roots. Truffles put off a musty aroma that historically pigs and more recently dogs have been trained to smell. And after thousands of hours in the woods, Richie has learned to pick up the scent.
You smell the truffles in the air. I think it's time to start checking patches. Today I'll be going into one of my better spots. I like to call it Old Faithful. In 3 to 5 hours, I can walk out with $2,000 roughly.
Richie can hunt the same areas year after year because of the biggest secret in truffle hunting. They always grow in the same spot. But with truffles selling upwards of $150 a pound, hunters have become fiercely territorial, and revealing the location of a patch could lead to poaching or worse.
This whole truffle world, it's kind of a big secret. I don't want anybody hiking into my patches, taking money directly out of my pocket. Can't trust anyone when it comes to truffles.
More people coming into the woods seeking fortune every year has made Richie's secret world more and more dangerous.
Last year, a digger I know found a dead body in a patch. Turns out the guy had been murdered.
The body was found in a famous truffle patch near PD Cemetery. No one knows who did it or why. But the incident has Richie constantly looking over his shoulder.
His body was dumped when I was probably there. For real. We are, Old Faithful.
What makes Old Faithful a great truffle patch is its thick forest canopy, providing shade to ground that gets consistent drainage.
You can dig truffles from October to the holidays. Literally the peak of the hunt. It's about 10 weeks. We got up there's a little owl's nest. There's 98% odds there's truffles within sight. Oh, look at this. Fresh dig from a vole. I've actually found a dead vole one time. It was somewhat fresh, so I cut him open and pulled an autopsy basically on him. Found his belly was loaded with black truffles. Circle of life. Voles eat the truffles, owls eat the voles, rich people eat the truffles. I get a paycheck. For the most part, truffles will grow out along these roots. They're almost like tumors spread throughout the entire root system on these trees. Little dry babies. This soil's too damn dry.
Water is the lifeblood of black truffles. But this year, Oregon's experiencing a drought of historic proportions. Richie can typically make up to $2,000 a day during the season, but he'll be lucky to pull off $200 a day in these dry conditions.
Need way more water in here.
Black truffle hunting in the forests of Oregon is a relatively recent trade. For centuries, the finest truffles have come from Italy and France. The Roman Emperor Nero called them the food of the gods, and they only come from the forests.
This forest is my life. I started here, and I'll end it here.
25 miles south of Ritchie, a legend is getting ready to dig.
I'll dig truffles till they dig a hole for me and bury me in a truffle patch.
Terry Drasdoff has worked these woods for over 40 years and claims to be the man who first discovered truffles in Oregon.
My daddy was a trapper. Dad and I were doing some trapping, and we saw this hog, and he's eating stuff, just munching. So Dad and I went over there and go, what the hell is going on here? And we found this really nice black truffle, and we didn't realize how valuable these things are. But we do now.
Terry has watched the market price surge from virtually nothing to over $1,000 per pound retail, luring more men to the forest.
Truffle diggers are just like a pack of wolves, all ripping out of the same carcass. All the same meat, we gonna get it. Used to be I could pull up in my truck on any tree line and pull out some truffles. But not anymore. I can only go truffling it at a few secret spots.
With this year's drought choking off supply, the few truffles that remain in the soil could be worth more than ever before.
Truffles are called the fruit of love. And there's nothing more sexy than getting a whole big fat jug and selling it and make $500-600 and makes a wife happy, makes me happy. It's sexy. Damn it. Truffles emit a gas. It kind of tastes metallic, like aluminum or something like that. I'm not tasting that at all. It's gonna be a long, cold winter. It's time to get the pig.
Looks like the crew's all here.
14 miles northwest, Oregon's truffle kingpin is setting up headquarters for the season.
All right, guys, let's do this.
Justin Anderson is a former logger who runs the largest black truffle and forest harvest company in Oregon. employing as many as 50 diggers who need to produce, drought or no drought.
Nate, take the scale. Somebody else grab that basket of other stuff there. Larry, I want you to take that little saw and knock down a couple of them whips across the road. I want one way in and one way out. I have a sizable operation that I can run 30 guys. So ultimately, no matter what orders that I get, I can fill them. Put in a little game cam here. Watch the command center. Little security for headquarters. Have 200 of them cameras stashed over about 1,200 miles of road. Truffles are a little small this year, guys, because of the drought, and you're just gonna have to dig 12-hour shifts to get enough to fill all the orders.
Diggers unearth black truffles and sell them to local dealers for anywhere from $70 to $300 per pound, depending on supply and demand.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Local dealers then sell large batches to regional distributors with about a 30% markup. Distributors then sell black truffles nationwide and around the world to high-end restaurants looking to finish dishes with one of the most expensive food items in the world. It's a cash business, with restaurants setting the price and the money flowing downstream.
I've got 230,000 acres that spans all the way from Falls City, clear up to McMinnville, and clear over to Sweet Home. It's basically a big truffle triangle. We're gonna get $250,000 worth of truffles out of there.
Justin moved his large truffle operation to Falls City 10 years ago. And much of the land small-time diggers like Richie and Terry have dug for years now belongs to him.
All right, guys. I want you three to go over to Kepach Hill. Most of the truffle ground in Oregon is owned by private timber growers. And 14 years ago, I had nothing. And now I have 230,000 acres. Oh, this stuff's starting to look good. 250 bucks, that's a good day for you. 20, 40, 60, 80. As far as I know, I'm the only one putting legal truffles out on the market. And my ultimate goal is to drive all these small-time diggers out of business.
Diggers get paid for their truffles and for information on signs of trespassers, because every year Justin's operation loses tens of thousands of dollars to poachers.
Did you see anything up there today?
No, I saw some tracks.
People tracks or pickup tracks?
People tracks.
Hey, Larry, get over here. I need you to go over just east of Black Rock. Somebody's been snooping around in all the patches over there. Got it? That's my right-hand man, Larry. I'm gonna send him to the far end of the property, and I'm gonna take the near end. I don't take kindly to intruders. One time over in Grant County, I had a bunch of mushroom pickers try to take my mushrooms and money. They stabbed me with a knife, hit me with a big stick. That'll never, ever happen again.
Coming up, the old-timer goes old school
Come on, Linus. Come on.
as the lone wolf hunts for a backwoods legend
That sounds like him right there.
and the truffle boss finds the scene of the crime.
Holy.
Buried beneath the forests of Oregon are millions of dollars in black truffles, and most of them belong to one man.
The poachers could get in here and wipe me out.
Justin Anderson has gotten intel that someone could be poaching one of his prized patches. He's covered over 1,200 miles of logging roads with about 200 game cameras. Anyone he catches could be prosecuted with fines and jail time.
Somebody's been going in and out of that road. This is my camera for catching vehicles and license plate numbers. And doesn't look like anything last night. If you put it in the trees, somebody's bound to see it. It's important to keep alert when you're in the woods. I'm seeing a pattern here of tracks. Somebody's been in here. Right here, it looks like something walked through here this morning. This has got condensation on it overnight. This is fresh. Whatever walked through here this morning. But over here is where the guys dive off the road.
Truffle poachers are just one of the dangers in these forests.
Okay, you may want to veer over there to the right, just in case. We don't know if there's any traps. I'm sure the dope growers got traps out here. Fish hooks hanging from trees, trip lines, swinging chunks of wood.
In addition to wildlife like cougars and bears, Polk County, Oregon has long been a hotbed of illegal marijuana growers and crystal meth cooks. And recent successful crackdowns by law enforcement have forced the drug producers into the forests, putting trufflemen like Justin in harm's way.
Holy. Looks like somebody took it. Somebody's been in here. Got a camera over here, I'm gonna go check. At 3:45 this morning, somebody in dark clothing. I've got a whole database of 30 to 40 guys that I've caught on camera. I'm gonna cross-reference this footage. We'll run his face and see if we can't find out who that is. In this drought, I ain't gonna tolerate any poachers coming in and stealing my product. None.
Trees are telling me the truffles are here. They're just tiny. They're being choked out by this drought.
15 miles to the north, lone hunter Richie is looking for a way to beat the drought.
Water right up there. Holding thousands of extra gallons of water. It's roughly 30 feet above my truffle patch. If I can transfer some of this water in the middle of that bed, I should be able to produce great big hog truffles, maybe get a record out of there.
Oregon is down 70 inches of rain, which means Richie will need to find a way to irrigate his patch with over 2,400 gallons per day for the next 2 months, if he has any hope of making up the difference.
Hoping to find Handyman Ken. He's sort of our version of a backwoods supermarket. When I have to meet with Ken, usually best if I can catch him on the road. That sounds like him right there. Ken, how you doing? Catch up and we'll get the audio. I'm gonna need some type of drip garden hose, maybe a 5-gallon bucket, some duct tape.
Yeah, I got a little safe place up here up the road. I'll take you there.
All right, that sounds good.
Handyman Ken is a clandestine supplier for all the forest people. No questions asked.
It looks like you're pretty well stocked up on things here.
Got a few things.
I gotta draw about 10 feet to get the water out of the pond. And then I got about 30 feet of drop down to the truffle bed. You think you got a post for that, Ken? Maybe a bucket for a filter?
I can do that.
Cordless drill of some sort?
All right. Perfecto.
A timer. You have any type of timers? Battery operated? I think that's pretty much it.
$80. So,
Well, thank you. If I can't flood Old Faithful with water, truffles are going to recess back into the ground too deep to get to them. I could lose that patch forever. Let's go play Mother Nature.
When people find out I'm a truffle hunter, they always ask me, do you have a pig? And I go, no, I've got Roy.
10 miles to the south, old-time truffle man Terry Drasdoff was hoping to beat the drought by taking a page from the past.
I'm going to get my partner Roy. He's up with the pig man.
Terry has been hunting truffles with his brother-in-law, Roy Siegfried, for more than half his life.
Hey, Roy.
hey, check out Linus. She'll go right to the truffles. Won't have to dig anything else. Just walk around picking them up right with her.
Roy has been around the forest long enough to know that in a drought like this, the old way is the best way.
A pig's sense of smell is stronger than a human's or a dog's. Pigs can find truffles as deep as 30 inches below the surface.
The use of pigs to find truffles is said to date back to the Roman Empire. And while most trufflers today use dogs because they're easier to manage, with this drought, Roy feels it's necessary to break out the hog.
Well, you guys want to try her out?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to use her for a secret weapon.
I got a good feeling about Linus.
Yeah. You know, we're going to need a whole lot of luck and a little bit of whiskey. Yeah, baby. There she goes.
Terry and Roy are going hogging in a low-lying patch 2 miles deep in the forest, where any other year the truffles would be ripe. But there is no telling if Linus will bring them luck in such dry conditions.
Come on, Linus. Come on.
Come on, Linus.
This drought's going to be the end of me, man.
Linus seems to be headed somewhere.
Look at that marking in that tree over there, Terry.
Somebody must have beat us here.
Oh,
Coming up, a lone hunter tries to make it rain.
I better hope this siphon works. I might have just lost this whole patch.
The old-timers have company,
Could be some sort of gang sign.
and the truffle war begins.
We get down towards that gate, I'm gonna slack back an extra little bit.
Copy that.
There are over 28 million acres of dense hardwood forests in Oregon, but only a small percentage of them produce black truffles. And in the midst of an historic drought, prized truffle patches are at a premium.
Look at that marking in that tree over there, Terry.
Old-timers Terry and Roy have brought out their pig Linus to search a patch that could be a gold mine, but somebody else has beaten them to the punch.
oh.
That looks almost like an arrow or something.
Yeah, it does.
Huh.
But he marked up that tree over there.
And this tree.
And this one. Come on, Linus. We've been doing these patches years and years and years. We have people coming up from Eugene. We have them coming from Portland.
And you know they're marking it for a bunch of people to come in here and
follow it.
Yeah. Could be some sort of gang sign.
Could be. They think it's their land. It's our land. These gangs, they dig in groups of about 12 or more, just like a swarm of locusts. They devour a truffle patch.
Maybe we should get out of here, dude.
Ah, baloney. They're not here now. Nobody's gonna get in my way. We're the Wheat Fops. That's my gang. Might as well rake. Came all this way. You know what it means? White farmers on pesticides. We're a mean bunch. I say we dig. We make the Crips look like babies.
Linus seems to be headed somewhere. Look at how she's taking off. She smells them.
The tricks to truffling with a pig are not letting her get too far ahead of you.
She's running up that way.
And immediately raking behind her so she doesn't eat all the profits.
We only got about 10 weeks to make our money during the holiday rush. And it's during the Christmas and New Year's and such like that. The price of truffles go way, way up. At the same time, that means you got a whole bunch more people out there looking for them. You got something there? Got one. That's a small one.
Yeah, pea-sized.
Kind of worthless.
Oh, there's another one.
How big?
Oh, about a nickel, maybe.
Yeah.
When we find tiny truffles, they're called nickels and dimes, but you want ones that are like a silver dollar at least to be able to sell them.
In past years, this patch has produced close to $600 worth of truffles per day. But it's clear that the drought and the outsiders have picked it clean.
I think we just got took.
If they're here, we'll find them.
Come on, Linus.
If I can transport water from an existing pond to Old Faithful, I could maybe produce baseball-sized truffle out of here if I can keep the water flowing.
Back at Old Faithful, Richie is building an irrigation system to save his dying truffle patch. And he's got his sights set high.
I have what's known as the record black truffle found in this area. And made the front page of a newspaper. Yeah, there we go. Over a pound and 7/10 of an ounce. Sold that puppy for 80 bucks. I've heard of people on the outside taking selfies. I take pictures of truffles. That's what does it for me.
Richie's hoping to siphon pond water 30 feet down to the base of Old Faithful so he can beat 2007's record truffle and maybe even grow a 2+ pound Moby that could make him thousands of dollars at auction.
The water from the pond will go into the bucket through these holes and then travel in through the hose, out through my drip tubes, and into the patch. I gotta keep this bucket sealed so I don't get any debris in there. I'm thinking if I get maybe some maple leaves, they're kind of sticky, somewhat pliable, somewhat green so it won't decompose too fast. Pretty much anything you need, it's out here in the mountains somewhere. If you're not adaptable, you're not making it out here. There we go. This should create a nice seal right here. Charging the system. In order for the siphon to work, basically I'm creating negative pressure by sucking on the downhill side of the tubing. All right, let's get a siphon going in this baby. I better hope this siphon works, or I might have just lost this whole patch. Whew, yeah. This is what I call taking a leak right here. Money in my pocket.
Getting the water flowing from the pond is only half the battle.
Woo, yeah.
Saturating the truffle bed is the ultimate trick.
Just gotta decide how I'm gonna disperse it through the patch. Still a long way from payday.
"13 miles south at his headquarters, Justin is checking his database of past truffle poachers.
This is the best image that I could pull off the game camera. Looks like Caucasian, dark wavy hair, approximately 150 to 170 pounds. I'm gonna scroll through my database here and see if I can come across a match with anybody that I've already got on camera. Let's see here. No. This guy here, he could be a new one.
Every year, Justin catches new poachers in the act, adding them to his database.
That's Tyrone Hale.
It's become a who's who of Oregon foragers,
He's got a pretty violent past.
including some familiar faces.
That's Roy Siegfried. Him and his partner in crime, Terry. There's old Terry Drasdorf right there. No fence, no sign, no property line is gonna even phase these guys. They don't give a about nothing. That's all the pictures I got in my database. This guy doesn't match none of them. I have to assume that this guy is still in the area. Any poacher could be a threat to the operation.
Coming up, Richie protects his domain.
Can't trust nobody when there's money involved.
Old partners are at the end of their rope,
I'll sleep out here with blindness if I have to.
and the hunters prepare for intruders.
Come on down.
Is that heavy?
Oh yeah, got some good weight to these guys.
Justin Anderson, Oregon's truffle kingpin, is loading up his first major haul of the season.
That's about 80 pounds of black truffles right there.
Once they reach the dealers, they'll be shipped across the country in a matter of hours. Many of these truffles will end up on a plate within a day.
The smell of a mature truffle is an intense fried potato smell. The top chefs are looking for modeling in them, these dark spots inside the white. It's ready to be eaten. That should be worth about 12 grand. When I got a load like this, I gotta take special precautions. You guys, I want you to run decoy for me, go out ahead of me, and the only place that anybody could Shanghai us is down by the gate.
Standing between Justin and the safety of the main roads is more than 2 miles of twisting logging trails. Over the years, he has developed a series of countermeasures to keep his truffles safe.
When we get down towards that gate, I'm gonna slack back an extra little bit.
Copy that.
It may seem extreme, but he's learned these techniques the hard way.
We've had several situations where other people come in and confront us with weapons and threats.
Let us get around this bend here and make sure nobody's sitting here.
You wouldn't believe it goes on out here during truffle season. This old guy named Ben had about 50 pounds of truffles he was storing up for a big sale, and he evidently told the wrong person. Next thing you know, they're gone. They swiped him right out of his garage while he was sleeping.
You look good. Come on down.
I'd like not to have them situations arise, but when they do, I'm ready. Go down to the end of that brush.
You're all clear, man.
Copy that. We made it. We're doing 80.
Anything?
No, you?
No, not yet. Looks pretty good, though.
4 miles east, deep in the forest, old-timers Terry and Roy are hunting at Rooster Rock. With only 2 hours of daylight left, they're hoping their pig Linus can get them on truffles fast.
I'll sleep out here with Linus if I have to. A horse works too, but what has it got to show for it? I haven't seen a horse driving a Cadillac in weeks.
Look, Linus might be onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Linus. I knew she'd find the first truffle. Oh,
Yeah. Look at that.
yeah. Good girl, Linus.
The first one of the season.
Yeah.
This thing right here is worth probably 10, 20, 30 bucks. If it gets the size of a baseball, it's worth over $100.
She's over there eating one.
And some rich person loved shaving up in the rabbit stew. And for a poor old truffle digger like me and Roy, we'll just take her 10 bucks. Thank you very much. Linus found us a nice seam in here. Truffles grow in seams or veins, and just like gold. Critters, they find a nice truffle, they eat it, and it spreads a spore.
The spores will grow on neighboring tree roots, creating seams of truffles, some of which can stretch for hundreds of feet.
And you know, you're talking $500 for a milk jug like this. That's a lot of money. That makes a wife very happy. Hey, we're finding probably got 4.5, 5 pounds.
I've got a pretty good lot, too. Maybe 3 pounds. Keep digging or what?
It may seem like a no-brainer to keep digging, but truffles have a very short shelf life. Once they're dug up, most diggers try to cash out as quick as possible.
When you're digging truffles, you gotta kind of sell them every day or try to every other day at least because they don't keep very long.
Yeah, Linus has found us about $1,000 for the truffles here, and everybody else is just getting rabbit. Let's just keep going.
All right.
Come on, Linus. Put that snout in the ground.
The life of this patch actually depends on this water.
Richie spent the last few hours building out a backwoods irrigation system.
Mother Nature can't make the water, I'll have to do it myself. Now that I've got the water flowing from the pond down to Old Faithful, I'm building myself a network of piping, 100 feet long by about 30 feet wide. A couple little tributary hoses off the center of them in a few spots. I should be able to flood this whole basin evenly. I'm thinking I'm gonna get roughly 50 to 100 gallons an hour out of this half-inch tube.
If Richie can achieve a flow of 2,400 gallons a day into a 30 by 100 foot truffle bed, that would roughly equal 70 inches of rain to make up for the drought.
I'll try and get some decent-sized truffles grown in here before Christmas and New Year's as our biggest truffle selling holidays of the year. There'll be plenty of water to quintuple my truffles maybe.
The water's flowing, but with so many foragers going broke from the drought, this land could soon be a target.
Can't trust nobody when there's money involved.
For next month, I need to make sure nobody's gonna find it.
Coming up,
Oh yeah.
hunters try to get safe and sound
Close enough to keep an eye on everything.
as money starts to flow
I'm hoping to get anywhere from 160 to 200 a pound.
and the forests of Oregon get more crowded.
You better run like hell.
Most important thing to a truffler is the rake. Notice how that handle is worn down? That's from my hand. The tines are sharp, thin, and it goes through dirt like a hot knife through butter. I called it rake and style. Sometimes I just let her do the work, and I just sit there watch her. Yeah, baby, come on, yeah, yeah.
Deep in the forests outside Fall City, Oregon solo hunter Richie may have found a way to save his prized truffle patch, Old Faithful.
Yeah, I gotta keep some type of an eyeball on my irrigation system. More or less run security on it.
Richie will make Old Faithful his home for the season to ensure no one poaches his investment.
Years ago, I found a tree stand up here. This time of year, should be pretty much abandoned. There it is. Looking pretty empty. I want to be right in this area anyways, because I'm centrally located. Climb up here and take a look. Flooring's pretty solid. Could be a little exciting in a windstorm. This is my inspiration right here. My grandson, Dalen. He already digs truffles. He's the reason I out here. I'll keep these babies here all year. Look at them at the beginning and ending every day. A little reminder of why I'm out here. I've spent 6 months a year out here. Rain, snow, really means nothing to me. A little bit of some shelter to keep the heavy stuff off me, and I'm good. Oh, yeah. Close enough to keep an eye on everything. There'll be nobody crawling in these woods, so there'll be no one messing around in here.
"15 miles south of Old Faithful, Oregon's truffle kingpin Justin Anderson is hauling his first $12,000 payload of the 10-week truffle hunt.
I sell truffles to several dealers because one dealer won't take everything that I can dig. It's a large web.
He's planning to lock up all the local dealers in Falls City so the small-time diggers have trouble moving their product.
This season, the poachers would make more money flipping burgers than out here poaching. That's all right. I ain't eating none of their burgers, that's for sure.
Justin's first stop is the main local dealer, Doug.
I'm hoping to get anywhere from 160 to 200 a pound. Hey, Doug, you in the market for some blacks?
That sounds good to me.
If I got 50 pounds of truffles and the broker's got the money for it, I'll clean them out. I'll sell every bit of the 50 pounds.
That's what I was hoping for.
First thing a dealer looks for when he's buying a batch of truffles, are they clean? Are they dirty? Are they ripe? Do they have mottling?
$26.99. $17.19.
My crew really did a hell of a job despite the drought. 21.36. What are you offering?
100.
100? That's a big cut.
At the beginning of the black truffle season, dealers like Doug tend to offer a rock-bottom price because chefs must sample the early crop to confirm the value of Oregon's truffles against the global market.
What does it come up to?
8,000.
8,000?
That should do it. You just cleared me out.
Well, that's what I'm shooting for. All right. Call me.
Thank you, bro.
Later in the season, those same truffles could be worth $300 per pound. But for now, Justin is happy to close out the top local dealer.
Well, I didn't get as much as I wanted. Small-time diggers, I bet they're sucking hind teat big time. Because the hind teat, when the cow takes, some of it gets on the bag, and whoever's sucking on the hind teat has a funny flavor in their mouth. Let's just say that.
This season,
This is the worst season I've seen since I got into this business.
Frost is like kryptonite to these things.
It's getting more